What up? What up? It's your boy Jay Snipes. It's Notebooks to Notes, and I'm back with another video. Man, Tesla. That's all I can really say for the stock right now, because we already know it hasn't been too hot. Falling over 25% in 2024 alone, and it hasn't even been a month yet. Man, I feel like this is just the start. Man, but before we get into the video, I'm gonna need you guys to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, as it helps me push my content to people that may find my videos useful to them. But now that you're good with all that, let's get into the video. Welcome back, and man, has it been a roller coaster for Tesla. I can't even say just 2024. I'd say just from the beginning of December, Tesla's just been on a roller coaster, man. And it's just, thank God I've stayed away from the markets in January. I took my last trade, let's say a few days before Christmas. I was up about 40-something% on that going into the new year. From there, I said, you know what? I'm going to fall back and analyze the markets. I really don't feel the need to trade right now. I just kind of want to relax and, not have to stress about this and that and waking up. And, obviously I'm still waking up for the markets, but I'm waking up in a different type of way. But yeah, Tesla's been doing its own thing, down over 25% in January alone. It's crazy. And yeah, from the over 200,000 recalls from the software issue in its cameras, to missing its earnings, to and with Tesla's profits falling over 40% in the last quarter, man. So it missed estimates on the sales side and on the profit side, and it's been the weakest revenue growth since 2020. And some investors just don't see the growth anymore for Tesla being a car company. In a lot of areas and a lot of markets that is trying to saturate or infiltrate, like China, India. It's not affordable in some of these places, believe it or not. And the average price point for a Tesla is about $40,000, $30,000 to $40,000. So obviously it's not affordable in some of these places like India, China, and the markets that they're trying to reach. So a lot of investors are just kind of falling away from it, and you can kind of see that correlate in its profits. That a lot of these places and a lot of these markets, the price point, it's not feasible. So Tesla's been taking it's been taking a blow. It really has been. And there's a new player in town. And it's called BYD. Build Your Dreams. It's a new car maker. Not new. They've been making batteries since the 90s, I do believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. They've been making batteries, and they transitioned to cars not too long ago. And the crazy thing about them, they are all in-house, and that is a huge thing. They make 75% of their parts in-house. Tesla makes 65%, I do believe, in-house. So obviously it's a 10% margin spread, but that 10% means a lot when you're pumping volume like that. Trust me, it does. So there's some competition out here. Lee is another one. So there's some competition out here for Tesla when it comes to the car industry. But what many people don't know is Tesla is a technology/energy company that just makes cars. And I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that. And yes, Tesla has been going through, the wins with, missing earnings and the profit margins. And, the revenue growth only 3%. 3%. That's not a lot for a company like Tesla. 3% in the last year. So obviously you see some discrepancies when it comes to the company itself and what's been going on. But I strongly believe that long-term, Tesla has a lot of growth as a technology company in general that makes cars. Yes, I do believe the price point, the model of its price point I think they need to change that. Then that's why I think BYD is coming into the game, and they might infiltrate the markets that Tesla's been trying to infiltrate. We already know that the United States is Tesla's biggest market. I think Europe is second. But obviously BYD is trying to infiltrate in the European market. They're trying to get factories in these markets that Tesla is huge in, and then obviously their price point is a lot cheaper. So Tesla's model is, when Tesla came into the game, their model was more let's get people on our side with EV vehicles. Let's start high point with a super, like kind of like a super EV car that's, you know, expensive and nice and everything like that. And then we'll break it down to the lower price points. With BYD, it's okay, let's start small. Let's start at a lower price point that's affordable and then work our way up. And I think that's where a lot of people, and that's why I think a lot of their popularity comes in, is because it's affordable and they look nice. Like, yo, look at this. Man, I might have to cop me a BYD. I'm a strong believer in building your own dreams. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'm a strong believer in building your own dreams. So I might have to grab me a BYD. And to be honest, I know EV owners. I know a few people with Teslas, and personally, I don't want to sit and wait for my car to get charged just for me to go. I don't know how many miles. What is it, like 100 something miles, 200 something miles? Yeah, no, I'm good on that. And personally, I just like. I'm sorry for, you know, my eco enthusiasts and you know, my go green enthusiasts, but I just love the sound of an engine. I just love the sound of that, you know, air intake and the straight pipe, all that. So apologize in advance, but you know, personally, that's just what I like. But I would grab a Tesla, but you know, now that I've seen what BYD is doing and they're way more affordable, hey man, BYD might come for the win. But when it comes to technology and, you know, the green and going green and everything like that, I do believe Tesla is, I feel like Tesla has this in the lead, and I feel like there's no other company that can do what Tesla can do on all ends of the spectrum. I mean, that's why I believe that Tesla is just an amazing company. That's not the only reason why I trade Tesla. I trade Tesla just for many other reasons. I'm not just some Tesla super fan, but I'm just pointing out the facts. It's not just a car company. Tesla's not just a car company. So I just tell me what you guys think in the comments below. What do you guys think? Where do you guys think Tesla's going? I know it's at 190 right now. I think I don't know what the pre-market is right now. I have to look at it. But I know it's about 190. The close was about 190, and you know, it's hovering about. It's already past its 8-month low. It already hit its 8-month low. So, and obviously there's reasons behind that. You know, and obviously Biden's trying to, you know, it's telling the UAW to regulate Tesla. And you know, that's obviously has investors on edge and stuff like that. But personally, I do believe Tesla has a lot of room to grow. I think this was just the beginning. Like I said before, Tesla isn't just a car company. It's an energy company. It's a technology company. So I do believe there's a lot of growth in technology, especially with AI and the integration of AI in a lot of these companies. I do believe Tesla's just going to find more ways to innovate it. So I do see more growth with Tesla. Obviously, with the feasibility and affordability with Tesla, I see that being a problem in some of these markets where obviously the average income isn't as high. So I do see there being an issue there. But I feel like their model, Tesla, is known for integrating themselves and being able to innovate themselves. So I do believe that Tesla will be able to innovate themselves enough where they'll be able to change their models and not lose profits or not lose revenue on the back end, and maybe start making more of their cars or more of their car parts in-house. Like I said before, it's 65% of their car parts in-house. BYD is 75%. And when you're doing numbers like that, that 10% margin, it can make a huge difference. So yeah, in the comment section below, just let me know where you guys think Tesla's gonna go in the next couple of months to years, but not just as a stock, but as a company as a whole. But also let me know where you guys think it's going as a stock as well, because I like to know your opinions on that as well. But now that we have breaking that down, let's get in some charting. Let's see where Tesla may go. Let's see where my analysis is. And yeah, let's just break this shit down. The Tesla. Don't mind the lines. Don't mind the lines. As you can see, we're in the zone. The market's actually open right now, so I'm not trading right now. It's all good. It's all good. See, I'm on the weekly chart. I want to see how the week closes. As you can see, we just broke the structure over here. And usually when things break structure or character, they usually come back to mitigate. I'm not saying they come back instantaneously, but more times than not, I want to say about, it takes, well, this is the weekly. The weekly, I'd say about 2 to 3, not even 2 to 3. I'd say about just one to two candles really and it comes back into this zone. But as you can see, this is the first candle. It broke out of the zone, came back, but I want to see it come back into this area. And usually it does that within the next 1 to 2 candles. So we'll see where it's going right now. You can see it's at a supply zone. And there was a huge mitigation area here. There was imbalance here, as you could see. That's why I have these marked here. I mean, you could basically at this point, you already know where imbalance is, but I'd rather just have it there. There's imbalance there. But as you can see, this is an imbalance, but it was also a consolidation zone for a few weeks. Oops. More than a few weeks, few months. See, that was the wrong thing. But here you go. So look at that. As you can see, from January to May, this whole zone was just consolidated, right? Popped back into the zone in October and got immediately rejected and moved up. So I want to see what it does after breaking into this zone with nothing but strength, nothing but bear strength. But as you can see, it's in this zone now. So I know there's a lot of passive orders. As you can see, there's a lot of passive buy orders, and it's already started. As you can see, it's already started. Obviously, the candle of the previous week, it closed on the bottom half of the candle. But then this week, as you can see, it looks like today's Thursday. But we'll see how the day closes. If it can close somewhere at the top half or the middle half of this candle or this wick, we might be in business. Not today, but the weekly, because I'm on the weekly. Sorry. So if we could close the week somewhere up here, then I do see a pullback back into this zone, obviously, and then the following week, the week close up here, back into where it broke that structure. But as you can see, we're in this mitigation zone where it was nothing but consolidation. So there was a lot of orders getting pumped into the market here. And look at this. From this right here, 153 up. So from 152.95 to 299.75 within 2 months, literally straight blasted out of this zone. So you can see from here. So when it entered this zone, I want to say when it entered the zone in January to April, it just did nothing but consolidated within this zone. So here we'll say right here, just consolidated, pumped orders. Once it had enough liquidity, once it had enough orders to pump up, that's exactly what it did. Whatever catalyst moved it, that's all it really needed was a catalyst, and that's exactly what it did. Changed character. From there, it skyrocketed into the next mitigation zone or supply zone up here. And as you can see, it kind of the same thing up here. Kind of consolidated at the zone and then dropped. Had enough liquidity to drop, and that's exactly what it did. So I guess as you can see, there was orders left behind. There was obviously unfinished business here. And those who trade futures would know. If you look at the delta and footprint charts, unfinished. That's where I got it from, unfinished business. But yeah, so there was unfinished business here. Huge imbalance, and that imbalance was mitigated here. As you can see, it was mitigated. There was the mitigation. And if you really want to get technical, this is the weekly. I don't trade the weekly, but if you really want to get technical, look at this. It's almost everything plays out exactly how it should. It's just timing. Timing is key, man. Timing is key. So as you can see here, it just consolidated within this zone, between these two zones, the supply to demand, consolidated, support resistance, whatever you want to call it, and then broke out and it's got straight rocked. Once it broke out of this zone and it changed the character, it immediately got rejected off this same consolidation area. So there's always going to be orders in these areas. There's going to be passive orders, and it's just aggressive orders that really move the market like that. You know what I mean? So when it breaks out these zones, these are aggressive orders, absorbing other aggressive orders, but also absorbing all the passive orders. So there was a consolidation zone, so obviously there's going to be a lot of passive sell orders. It broke out of here, and as you can see, it rejected. It was a reversal attempt, a failed reversal attempt, and immediately got rocked. Huge gap here, so there's going to be a lot of passive orders here. So there's going to be some sort of resistance here. And that's exactly what happened. As you can see, from 272 to 241, look at that. It's consolidated for a few weeks. 1, 2, 3 weeks. I would say even it broke in 4 weeks. It was in this zone, broken in the first week, and then the second week stayed in that zone. Third week it broke out, but it was a failed breakout attempt, and then fourth week just couldn't leave. Fifth week it gapped up, and then by the sixth week it was back in. Seventh week it was back in. Eighth week, ninth, and as you can see, it does the same thing over and over again. So it's gonna consolidate within these zones, and there's just a whole bunch of liquidity on both ends of the spectrum. And these are huge zones. These are a lot of money to be made. This is a lot of money to be made. This is 211 all the way to 273. I wouldn't even consider this up here because it doesn't. These breakouts, like I said, 80% of breakout attempts fail. So these breakouts, they attempted, failed, went back into these zones. So you could really say 272 to 211 is really, a consolidation zone. But now that consolidation zone has now been broken. In this previous week, 25%. 25% in over 25%, sorry, in 2024 alone. And it hasn't even been a month yet. Hasn't even been a month. It's not, well, it's just a month today, February 1st. But yeah, man, so there's a lot of money to be made. But if you really want to zoom out, was creating a triangle. So if you want to get technical, it was creating a triangle. Look at this. So a lot of traders were probably expecting it to go up. But that's retail. That's retail. You know what I mean? You gotta play where the banks are. And if you're looking at the catalyst, you already know it's like there really isn't. No one's really looking to buy. And I feel like that's key right now. I feel like that's key. I really want to see what Tesla's gonna do because right now, I feel like this zone is key. If it breaks this zone, we're headed down. We're headed down. And that it's too obvious. Obviously, it's too obvious. It's too obvious that it breaks this and comes down. So obviously, it's gonna do its thing. That's what it does. That's just how it is. Elliott waves, A, B, C, D, E. You know what I mean? There's so many different scenarios you could call it. But the market. That's how the market moves. It moves on orders. At the end of the day, the market moves on orders, and liquidity. So as you can see, it broke this structure, and now. It looks like it's holding. You got a little micro gap here. On the weekly, you got a micro gap. So from this close to this open, look at this. You got a little micro gap here. So this is a good thing. And even if you want to get technical, you got an even bigger gap here. So there's buyers there. And as you can see, they're trying to push prices up. So I want to see where it closes at the end of this week. Because you really don't know where Tesla's gonna go now. It's broken structure, and it's now into I'd say a purge zone. I want to see if this is a purge zone, because like I said before, the same zone that it broke into, consolidated, hit a low of 252, right, and then broke up and hit a high of 299. Like, come on, 299.98, right? So. I want to see if this is going to be a purge zone because it could be enough. There could be enough passive orders and then influx of aggressive buy orders to just push this up. And then we're mitigating this whole supply zone, right? That hasn't been mitigated, boom, mitigated, boom, and then Tesla keeps moving. Obviously, it's going to take some time. I can't see this happening anytime soon. At least hitting the 400s, obviously. But the 300s, I could see it happening and within the next couple months. As you could see, Tesla it literally just dropped within the last month. I mean, just fucking November we were talking about. It was going to fucking right. In November we were talking about. Look at November we were talking about going to 270, right? And it was making its way up there. December kept going, right? Look at that. Making his way up there. Dropped. Next month. Look at you. So you don't know. It's the stock market. So you don't know what catalysts. You don't know what the insiders are doing. You don't know what Congress is doing. You don't know what's going on. We don't know what plans Tesla has in play. Obviously, things aren't looking too hot right now based on, the revenue growth and the profitability, and just, infiltrating the markets, their markets a little better in some of these areas where it's unaffordable. There's some bumps in the road. Obviously, that's with any company though that's trying to grow at a global scale. Like I said, Tesla is not just a car company; it's an energy and technology company that makes cars. So they're like, I do believe Elon Musk in their, or Tesla in their roadmap, or their statement, or their mission statement was, they understand we can't make a change individually. Like one person can't make a change with global issues. You have to do it at a global scale, and doing that at a global scale is trying to scale a company that makes changes within that, within that situation. 23% annual profit decline. That's something that that's something to keep your eyes open for. You know what I mean? Sending, like it's kind of crazy. And also they are doing price cuts on its cars. You know what I mean? So this is what's sending the profit margins down, but it's also like, I don't know. You tell me what you think. So it's like, it makes sense because like they want to grow in these markets, so they have to cut the car prices. But it's also just, so it's just like, okay, so the profit's gonna, obviously we're gonna lose money, but aren't you gonna make the money back because there's more people in these markets and more people are gonna start buying in these markets? So you lose the money in the front end, obviously at first, but then you'll make the money back. So I feel like the stock really just dropped because we're getting into a purge zone. I really truly believe we're getting into a purge zone, and motherfuckers are just gonna start loading orders. So I do believe we might see a little consolidation between, I want to say, I'd say it dropped down. It's 175 to 208. I'd say more than likely strong consolidations between those zones. If not 208, then we hit the next zone where it kind of consolidated before then we say 228. And I feel like that's a pretty good zone for consolidation. So you just go back and forth. There's a lot of money to be made within those zones. As you can see, it consolidated kind of the same way over here. So I could see it consolidating, dropping below this zone. I do see it dropping below this. I don't see it holding this too long. But I see it dropping below this and then coming back. And then, like I said, usually comes back into that broken structure. But yeah, tell me where you think Tesla's going to go in the next couple of weeks, the next couple of months, as a stock, but also as a as a company. And yeah, see where you think, and tell me where you think the growth is headed towards, where you think where their model is going to go towards. Do you think the price cuts are something that they should do? And how do you feel that the revenue growth is at a modest 3%? A modest 3% revenue growth. How do you feel that Tesla's only grown 3% year over year? That's kind of crazy to me. A company that popular, but like I said, it's in markets that people just can't afford. So it makes sense, and then they're price cutting. So I see a lot of change happening for Tesla. So I see some growth. I do see some growth. But tell me what you think. Tell me where you see Tesla headed. I forgot to mention, they reported their share of 3.2 for $3.12 for those who don't know. $3.12 for 2023, and that's a 23% decline from 2022's record of $4.07. So we'll see. We'll see. Where Tesla goes. And how it's gonna grow. And how it adjusts to the price cuts and everything, and trying to keep up with BYD and how BYD is pricing in their markets of their EVs in China. So I can see why a lot of EV companies are trying to mold their companies and their models to kind of fit these bigger markets where they have a larger expectancy of profits. But yeah, he projects sales 16%, putting the total at a roughly 7 million units. Okay, that's what I mean. That's a lot of units. Okay, but will account for BEV models. Will account for about 27% of all car sales in China in 2024, up from about 24% in 2023. Yeah, so that's amazing. As you can see, China is they're eating up that EV market. So Tesla, NIO, XPeng, BYD, like all these companies, all these companies, like they're fighting. They're fighting for one market space. So it's like the best man wins. The best man wins, and like I said, the price cuts matter because that matters with profitability and revenue. And whoever can manufacture majority of their parts in-house is going to win this battle. And like I said, 65% on Tesla, 75% BYD. I don't know what NIO is, but we can look that up real quick. Boom. So here we go. We'll see. Yeah, it's honestly about who, it's the best man wins. It's all about who could manufacture the most parts in-house at a cost-effective price, and then sell at a good price point where people are going to buy at a high volume. So there's a lot of competition. Let's bring it over here. I know there's a lot of EVs are emerging in China. And like I said, it is very popular in China, man. And this is just in 2022. I do believe this is their latest, but this was released not too long ago. Hozon, NIO, Li Auto, Leap Motor, XPEG, like they're all top sales volumes of top 5 Chinese emerging EV automakers. Like this is the first time me hearing of Hozon. Like who? Like what? Okay, so wow. Founded in 2014, so like they're fairly new. So this is really emerging. Like EV is really emerging. So when it comes to stocks, you wanna kind of pick where a company where these emerging companies may need a certain, like with chips and stuff like that, where all the technology they're using. Try to find a company that solves a problem within these companies. And I feel like you'll make a lot of money on that stock. That's what I've been doing. So I'm just looking at companies that are solving a problem within these emerging EV companies, whether it's the manufacturing, chips, or the technology within these companies. And boom, invest in some of these plays, or just kind of put them on your watch list and wait for a catalyst, and boom, get into them. So, that's a little sauce for you guys real quick. But so I guess it's Neta Auto. And maybe they're a subsidiary. Neta U Pro. These very futuristic looking. Wow. Personally, you would not catch me in one of these. I'll be honest with you. This is like a Prius this is like a Transformer Prius. Like I don't know. This is, and the wheels, like come on. And I guess this is what they want. This is the top selling, I guess of 2022, top selling EV when it comes to volume. Wow. Yeah, I can't even click. So we're just gonna go back. We are Neta. Let's see. People orientated, tree thriving. Okay. Like this website is, no disrespect, but this is like, I don't even know. It's like a donation type website that someone just kind of made and threw on Facebook. This is what this is kind of giving me. Now these are hard. Like these are nice. So I've never heard of this car. Wow. This is hard. It's almost like a Tesla, and it's almost like a Mercedes kind of in a way, where like it has this and then the middle console. These are not bad. Panoramic sunroof, 17.6 inch center console control or center control screen, 12 loudspeakers, Sky sound effect. So what is it, like surround sound in a way, but like advanced, 40 music cockpit. Okay, this is crazy. Like this is crazy. 3.7 seconds, 3.7 seconds. Push to launch. Neta GT preloads. This is actually, wow. These are actually hard. Okay, so my bad, Neta. My bad, or Hozon, whatever it is. Yeah, my bad. I guess you guys aren't Priuses on I guess robotic Priuses. Like, it's actually kind of okay. Not bad. But this is the GT. Like, this is like the luxurious one. This is not like the base one where it's the affordable. You know, we're talking about like the affordable models, because this is really the debate. Like, these companies need to be affordable for, you know, for these markets. So this is the new generation electric GT sports car. So I can't imagine it being affordable. So I'm pretty sure the base model is probably the affordable one that probably sells the most, and that's probably, you know, the one that it's probably the one that looks like the Prius, a robotic Prius. Yeah, see, like what I say, the robotic Prius. But as you can see, the non-name investor crossover, the first round holds on, also known as Neta Auto, seeking $1 billion. Okay. Kung Pao. Oh, I said, wow. I'm gonna edit that out. See, I had to edit that out because I don't want people to think certain things. I'm gonna edit that out though. So Hong Kong IPO, according to sources, and they raised it. They raised $960 million. Okay. And I don't have a subscription, so I can't read the rest of that, unfortunately. Okay, but as you can see, and then NIO comes in second, Li Auto, Xpeng, and then Leap Motor. I've never heard of Leap Motor, but as you can see, this is like literally EVs are emerging in this market, and like this is why a lot of these companies are trying to shift towards that Chinese market, because they understand there's going to be a lot of volume. A lot of people are buying EVs in China. This is just what it is. The technology is advancing out there, and it's crazy. So they're very innovative out there. So it only makes sense that, you know, that these companies are trying to innovate their EV part of their business model towards these markets that are, you know, high consumption in EV vehicles. But yeah, man, I hope Tesla could. Well, I don't hope anything. Let's see if Tesla could, you know, kind of get into this market and become one of the top dogs in this market. But as you can see, it's just it doesn't look like Tesla's coming on this list anytime soon. As you could also see, Leap Motor, 70% of the vehicle cost covered by parts developed in-house. Like I said, it's all about in-house production. This is where you're gonna cut costs in-house. So it's just like when you cut costs like that, you could sell at a certain price point and still make a lot of money. And as you can see, a lot of these other auto companies are doing a lot of innovative things. World-leading AI company by 2023, Li Auto. Like I was mentioning them earlier. Look at that sustainable approach to energy supply, considering introducing middle market models. So NIO, that's NIO right here. So as you can see, they're really trying to innovate the game. And a lot of these companies are actually trying to do what Tesla has already done. So this is why I say Tesla is probably the biggest company out of all of them, because they're not just a car company. They're literally doing what Tesla has already done and has been doing. So it's just like, now it's just time for Tesla to see if they can cover that vehicle cost and see if they could get closer, like I said, closer to that 70 to 75%, and try to cut down on cost and kind of do the approach that BYD has done, from, you know, the low end to the high end instead of the high end to the low end. But yeah, like I said before, tell me what you think in the comments below. Where do you see EVs in China going? Where do you see just EVs in general going globally? Not just the United States and China, but where do you see EVs going globally? Do you think the shift is going to be overwhelming and it's no longer going to be a gas-driven type of world? Or do you feel like there's going to be enough balance where it will go hand in hand? Or do you think EVs will eventually just, you know, they'll come and go and people just won't care about them just because they won't be as popular as gas-driven vehicles? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. This is a very interesting topic to me, just because, you know, I've been trading Tesla, and I feel like this is where Tesla is really trying to mold their business model of that EV section. into these markets where there's a lot of people and where they'll get a lot of volume, and where they probably aren't as dominant as they are in the United States and, in Europe and stuff like that. So I definitely want to see where Tesla goes, not just as a stock, but as a company as a whole. And I do see a lot of growth for Tesla in general, but I'd love to see what Tesla has in store for the growth in China, and what it can do in China, because this is, as you could see, it's definitely trying to get into that market, and it has a lot of competition in that market. But the biggest competition of all, BYD. BYD is already starting to struggle, starting the year, and as you can see, Tesla has done the same. And it's just they're both, down when it comes percentage-wise on the stocks. But yeah, we just got to see what the businesses are, how the businesses are going to shift due to this change, or these changes and the price cuts and stuff like that, and hopefully they can adapt and react. But I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. If you guys can smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, it'd be greatly appreciated. But until next time, it's Jay Snipes. It's Notebooks to Notes. I'm Audi 5000. Peace. So before you guys go, I just want to thank you guys for watching the video, but I also want to break down this awesome indicator that I've been using for a couple of months now called chartowl.ai. And let me tell you, ChartOwl has changed the way I see the markets as a whole. Man, 360-degree view of your trading is an understatement when I tell you this is the way. It has revolutionized the way I trade. Advanced analytics, an exclusive Discord community, easy buy alerts. It is so simple to use, and the profits have been outstanding. Let me tell you, man. So you guys definitely have to check out ChartOwl. You just want to head over to Google, check out ChartOwl. There's so many different plans you could choose from, starting from $35 all the way to $85. They got an amazing Discord with awesome mentors that walk you through everything: real-time data, real-time news, real-time dark pool, real-time golden sweeps, and more. So it's really the whole 9 yards. Let me tell you, do not miss out on this, because they are going to close the Discord very, very soon. So you want to get in on this before you miss out. They have the trend spotter for when you're trading to understand a point of control, the fair gap values, and so on and so forth. Let me tell you, man, this has revolutionized the way I trade. So let me tell you, hop on to chartowl.ai, go through the pricing plan, go through a plan that fits your budget, and get started today. Man, don't wait. Revolutionize your trading today. Stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. Become a profitable trader. Become a consistently profitable trader.